Hello and welcome to this micro training video from FMCG Academy. Today we're going to talk about writing brand positioning. So we're going to try and write a brand positioning statement. Make sure you just pause on the screen if you want to read through the rest of the cover slide. So what I'd expect everyone to have done is already seen the brand, mission, vision, positioning, personality and identity video, which was done quite some time back. So make sure you watch that. And we use a little grid to explain those 5 key terms in the marketing world. And I'm hoping everyone's also seen the brand mission video where we wrote a brand mission for a brand called Ola, which is operates in the orange flavored beverage category. And also the brand mission statement, which we wrote again for Ola. So I'm hoping you've seen both those videos. So let's get straight into brand positioning. Now, brand positioning is essentially the question it answers is what space does the brand occupy in the consumer's mind with respect to competition? And this is very important. It is always with respect to competition. So you can get repositioned, as we say, if the competitive environment changes. So if there's a mega launch of another brand with a different positioning into the category you're operating in, then you will be repositioned to some extent, whether you like it or not, or whether you've done anything about it or not. You are going to get repositioned. And it is definitely an internal document which is shared with your marketing agencies, and you need to look at it every year at least, and also earlier. I mean, as I was explaining earlier, if there has been a big brand launch, then you make sure that you revisit your positioning statement, whether your positioning still holds or not. So as with all of these terms, we start first with the mandatories of what is required in a brand positioning statement. So the first one, and this is one of my favorites for most things, it's got to be simple. So a very complicated brand positioning statement will get lost as it transfers to other people and is handed over to the next bunch of people coming through the marketing roles. So it needs to be simple. Doesn't need to have excessive jargon. The second key thing, it's got to have a target audience orientation. So you need to define to some extent demographically and attitudinally or psychographically your target audience to some extent. So that'll help further position your product. The third key thing is it's got to be believable. So you can't have something which is totally unbelievable, and it's got to have credibility behind it. So it's got to be believable and credible. So it can't be a pie in the sky sort of stuff. You actually have to sort of define why the benefits or the position you're taking should be believable by the world at large. The fourth key one is, and this is important and this requires more skill than is normally assumed, is free space. A lot of brands I've seen take the position, we want to be the cheapest, but actually they're not the cheapest brand in the market. There's someone who's already cheaper than you. So you can't take that space. It's not a believable or a credible position. So you need to make sure you occupy space which is free and available to take. And that comes through research and a good understanding of the category. The fifth key thing is it should help you make consistent marketing decisions. Pardon my handwriting. So it should help you make consistent marketing decisions, and I'm going to talk more about that once we've looked at the positioning statement. So let's get straight into the positioning statement for Ola, the orange flavored beverage which we've been working with. So I've already written one earlier, and I've just thought in terms of saving time, I wrote this earlier and just bring it up here. So Ola is an orange flavored beverage made with the best oranges and formulated with natural micronutrients to deliver great taste and rehydration for physically active men and women. It's a pretty straightforward sort of statement. It makes a few key points, but at the same time, I think it's simple. So let me tick that simple box. You might disagree. You might think it's a bit complicated, but I think it's reasonably simple for a positioning statement. Target audience, does it define target audience to some extent? Yes, it does. It does define it as physically active men and women. So it is doing that. Believable credibility, again, that comes through best oranges and formulated with natural micronutrients. So the key benefit, obviously, as you've seen, is great taste and rehydration. Is that space available? Great taste and rehydration. Now, again, we don't know that since we've not talked of the whole category, but I'm just going to tick that box, also assuming that that free space was available. There are great tasting orange flavored beverages, and there were some rehydrating ones, but no one had the combination of two. So this is a product that does both and is uniquely positioned in that space. And again, that positioning builds through consistency. Then coming to the consistent part, does it help you make consistent marketing decisions? Now, this is something which every positioning statement has to make you be able to do. So, for example, if your agency comes up to you and says, "Hey, look, we've got the Shakespeare plays happening in the next month or so, or next quarter or so, and Ola could be sponsoring some of those," then if you've shared this positioning statement with them, then you ideally need to change your agency or sexy agency, because if that's your positioning statement, then you don't really want to be sponsoring drama and theater. On the other hand, if they come to you with and say, "Look, let's sponsor the Tour de France," it's a great cycling race, and if you remember our vision statement, we wanted to be number one in Europe. So yeah, it's one of the biggest sporting events in Europe every year. Ola can sponsor it. Yeah, we just need to find the money, of course. So that would kind of say that helps you make a consistent marketing decision and ensures that someone in the marketing chain is not going around sponsoring Shakespeare plays or doing something else, changing your positioning from here and there. And this is what happens quite a lot in a lot of organizations. So you need to be very consistent. So Tour de France, yeah, it is for physically active men and women. Yeah, it's actually only for men, but yeah, it's a great race, and it delivers, and it talks about your and it's kind of in line with your positioning statement. So that's just an example of consistent marketing decisions and how to write a simple positioning statement. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you.